and the Seahawks. A lot to react to here because Bump, they made a statement on Sunday night. We entered this game talking about how they needed to make a statement. You and I got into a debate over a couple different days last week. Not like an actual debate, but I was saying, God, I just feel like they deserve to be talked about more. And you were like, sure. They do because they're a good team that's kind of flown under the radar, but I think they like that. Like, I don't think that matters to them. Well, I don't think that they're going to be able to hide behind anything now because a lot of voices talking about this, whether it was Pat McAfee, Chris Long, Mike Garafolo, a bunch of guys were tweeting about this one saying the Seahawks are a wagon. They are here to play, absolutely dominating the Commanders. What statement did they make on Sunday night?
I think it was more, to me, I use the word like signature win, right? I guess you can't make a statement, but I like signature. I like that because when you look at the schedule and you look at who they played, who they haven't played in the situation, right? You look across the division, see the Niners won a dang game again. I don't know how they keep doing this.
Making me mad.
Man, the Rams, obviously, Matthew Stafford had himself a good day, 4 touchdowns as well.
Puka Nacua hurt again, though.
Yeah, Puka got banged up. Devontae going nuts, still 2 touchdowns. But it's about the Seahawks. Like, signature win. It's like, all right, beat a team you're supposed to beat and do it the right way. Like, dominate this game. We want to feel like this game is over by halftime, and that's exactly what we felt with 31-0, 31-7, excuse me, at halftime. You got Sam Darnold, who completed his first 16 or 17 passes in a row, tied a franchise record with Warren Moon. You had Torrey Horton scoring 2 touchdowns, Arroyo scoring 1 as well. The defense looking dominant against an offense that's banged up. McCaffrey went out early. You don't have McLaurin. Deebo Samuel was really all they had. McNichols in the backfield was supposed to be a guy who could do stuff. They still ran the football decently, the Commanders. But, no, you wanted to feel like you were in complete control. And that's what they did. Yes, you're supposed to beat up the Commanders. But if they didn't just beat them up and they just snuck by, then we would have more questions.
Well, yes, you're supposed to win this game. I'm not surprised at all that the Seahawks won. I did not think that they'd win as handedly as they did. Count me among the people who were saying, hey, I don't know if they're going to, absolutely blow the Commanders out of the water. The Commanders are getting Jaden Daniels back. He's really great, obviously, an electric player. You're going to have to contain him. And it turns out that getting Jaden Daniels back didn't mean much of anything because Jaden Daniels is kind of the only thing that was working for them that night. The defense was really struggling. They lost Luke McCaffrey early down to basically just Deebo Samuel and Zach Ertz as their only receiving weapons. And I do want to say this, though. Even though the Commanders are clearly banged up, I don't think that this was just the byproduct of, oh, the Seahawks got a really easy opponent and they're the healthy team. The Seahawks are healthier than the Commanders, but not perfectly healthy. They ended up losing more people on defense in this game. Talk about that a little bit later. But also, this is the second most points allowed by the Commanders defense. The Commanders defense has not been great, but you can only beat the team that's in front of you, and they did it with a resounding kind of effort.
You beat up on dudes who aren't in your weight class. You know, I've been in several fights back in my day, brawls in college, and you know what our boys used to do? All right, my big homie, you take the big guy. My little guy, you take the little guy. I'll take the medium-sized guy.
Yeah.
And if something were to happen and it's switched up, we expect the big guy to beat up on the little guy. That's what this was right here. And I think for the nation, it was the Seahawks maybe showing them that they have the capability of being a big guy. As before, you're looking at them and saying, yeah, we respect what's going on over there. Sam Darnold, but he's going to choke late in the game or late in the season. We'll see. What about this defense? They don't have everybody. Who have they played? I understand all those questions because that's how you kind of separate teams in any sport. You look at who they're playing against and how they've been performing. But this was an opportunity just to grab a few more eyeballs, right? Get some attention. And they did it in a great way. I mean, when you score the first 5 times you touch the football, your first drive, you go 12 plays, 90. Your second drive, you go 7 for 60. You cause a fumble. Big ups, Peely. We interviewed him on the huddle this week. You cause a fumble, 1 play, 26. Then you get the ball back. You go 4 plays, 87. Then you get the ball back. You kick a field goal. It was just dominant. And I think that's a performance that you needed to see. And more importantly, for this football team, you wanted to see that. They were better on third downs. They were perfect in the red zone. They didn't win the time of possession, but that's just because late in the game, Commanders had the football, and they're just going to run the rock. And you got out fairly healthy. I mean, Josh Jobe did suffer a concussion, friendly fire. I believe it was Ty Okada getting downhill, smacking him. But for the most part, you were good. The run game didn't look the way that you wanted to. Here's the thing about the run game. I will keep saying this. You're not going to have all these explosive plays, at least you haven't yet. but it is forcing guys to play in the box, stack the box, and respect it. And there were still some effective runs to start the first series that kind of got things going. So, yes, this is what we need to see.
Let's talk about just Sam Darnold for a minute there. I wrote down during this game, wow, Darnold 6 for 6, 67 yards and a touchdown, nearly a perfect passer rating on that first drive. And then it just kept going. Like, I thought that was notable. 6 for 6. Wow. He ended up tying a franchise record. What was he, 16 for 16 or 17 for 17?
17 for 17.
17 for 17, tying a franchise record, setting a new career best for him. His first incomplete pass came in the third quarter. It was also the Seahawks' first time not converting a third down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what'd you see from Sam? He has not been dinking and dunking all year long. We already know that.
Yeah.
But this was especially impressive.
Yeah, it's I think you got to give Kubiak some love with this as well. What you saw in the first drive set everything else up. You had Oots in the backfield with K9. He had a big run of 12 yards. You had JSN on the fly sweep, 11 yards. You had one-on-one with Horton in the slot, picking up a first down. You had JSN going across the middle, getting a first down. You just ran the ball a couple more times. I believe the first drive they ran the ball 6 out of the 12 plays that they had. So Kubiak is setting things up, but you show love there, but then you go to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is putting the football exactly where it needs to be.
Yes.
If it needs to be low and away, it's low and away. If it needs to be high and outside, it's high and outside. He made one bad throw or two bad throws. Obviously, the interception, throwing it behind Horton, dragging across the field. But the other bad throw was a third down. He underthrew JSM. He was one-on-one. Other than that, he's putting the football where it needs to be. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the game. I was talking to B. Walt, and we're watching the game. And when a quarterback is throwing those intermediate, the short passes, the ones that are on a line, and the nose of the football is slightly down, it's slightly pointed down, he's getting on top of it, and he is extremely confident throwing that football. He is one of the best throwers of the football in the game right now. I mean, other than Pat Mahomes doing the weird things that he does, Lamar Jackson, who doesn't get enough credit for being an accurate passer, he's right there in the mix with one of the best arms.
Do you think that Sam Darnold himself made a statement to anyone last night? We talked about the Seahawks making a statement, or in your mind getting a signature win, and they got that. What did last night mean for Sam Darnold?
He's been doing this. What were we 8 games in?
But
they
not
played
this.
17 last year, plus a playoff game. We're like 30 games in, let's say. 30 games in,
yeah,
roughly. And he's shown that this is who he is, right? We look back at Geno. 30 games in, this is what we knew about Geno. He is a competitor. He has fourth-quarter wins in him, comeback wins in him, but he's going to turn the football over, and you're going to have to deal with some of that. He's going to get sacked, all right? 30 games in, everyone and their mama in Seattle had an idea who Sam Darnold is. Geno is. Now, let's look at Sam Darnold. Who is Sam Darnold 30 games in the last couple seasons, okay? He's an accurate quarterback. He's more mobile than you think. He can push the ball down the field, and he gets the team into the right place. Several times he got to the line of scrimmage, checked out of it. The play was successful. Maybe a 3 or 4 yard run. People are tired of seeing that. Me personally, I'll take 3 or 4 every day of the week, especially on first and second down. Sam Darnold is one of the best quarterbacks in the game right now. Not a tier 1 yet, but he's a tier 2. You ever play Chutes and Ladders? Play that game?
Yeah, that's is that the one where the ladders? Oh, I'm thinking of Mousetrap.
Chutes and Ladders. A Mousetrap?
I don't know.
Anyways,
I realized that what I was thinking of was Mousetrap.
Chutes and Ladders, a classic American game, board game, and it's he's on that last level to where if you hit a certain number, say number 3, there's a ladder that takes you right up to the finale, like right up to the top tier. That's where I see Sam Darnold right now. Still got some things to do. Like these next 2 games are going to be huge. I wrote it in our email. I said, look, you got to take care of the Cardinals, and then the Rams are waiting on you like a past due bill. Like you got to go and get those dues. But who is Sam Darnold? A tier 2, like platinum card member. He's almost to that tier 1. But
so
he's
like
a tier
business
2.
class?
Yeah, it's like business class, I guess.
Right, like you get more leg room, but you're waiting to get into first class. But first class can't be a lot. It just has to be a little bit because that's why it's so exclusive. You would know.
Yeah, exactly.
Just realized I don't know what Chutes and Ladders is. I don't know that game. I don't know that, man. Albert Breer said, first he said Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold, 13 for 13, 229, 4 touchdowns, 158.3 passer rating, which is a perfect passer rating. Obviously, he went on to complete more passes, but he said maybe Sam Darnold is just a really good quarterback now, and the Jets screwed up his development. Is that really so hard for people to wrap their heads around? This is why I think this game also really mattered for Sam Darnold, because look, I was reading a lot of Washington Commanders fan coverage and fan comments leading into this one. I just like kind of getting a lay of the land, especially when I'm writing up things for like the quiz or trying to look in for like the huddle to see like what are people talking about over there, right? So I spent a good chunk of the latter half of the week looking at that. And I will say that there were a lot of Commanders fans going, look, we desperately need this win to save the season. I'm a little more nervous about the defense than I am of Sam Darnold. So that idea that Sam Darnold is going to turn into a pumpkin at any moment is still very much alive with a lot of other fan bases.
Not against this defense.
Not against this defense, but I am telling you, I was surprised by the amount of sentiment I was seeing. And it wasn't disrespect. It's just there are a lot of Commanders fans that are like, I'm not watching Seahawks games. I got my own team to watch. But if you are not watching Seahawks games regularly, pretend that you have not watched a Seahawks game this season at all. Would you know that Sam Darnold is better than he was last year? I don't think you would. I think you'd think, oh, Jackson Smith-Njigba's been phenomenal, and that's great, but the Seahawks defense has been really good. I don't think you'd really know that.
You can look at the basic numbers and say he's at least performing up to what he did last year, right? I mean, after this week, completing 70% of his passes, I believe he was around 69% before going into this game. 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, been sacked 9 times. Those numbers alone should at least incline you to think that he's at least duplicating what he did last year. Mm-hmm. Is he better? That's a tough one. I didn't watch every Minnesota game last year. When the Hawks did pick Sam Darnold up, I went and looked at his best games and his worst games, obviously, and it feels like he has a better understanding of this offense. And the reason why I think it feels that way is because when I watch him play, at least last night, especially last night, he's going through his progression. There is no panic. He's going 1, 2, 3, let it go. 1, 2, let it go. You watch his eyes and his feet. He's going through. He knows exactly what he's looking at. I think there was some of that with Kevin O'Connell, but I think Kevin O'Connell is responsible partly for what we're seeing today. Kevin O'Connell was the one to get in his ear to help develop him, give him that confidence, give him the freedom to be the player that he is. So now he takes that over here with Kubiak, a guy that he knows already, who continues to develop him. He has a better understanding. It's almost like we're looking at Sam Darnold, who is a number 1 pick in his 3rd year in an offense that he really understands and a guy he really trusts. But we're seeing him in his 6th, 7th, 8th year or whatnot and go through that process, which is cool, man. But you can't ignore the talent that he has. Mm-hmm. He has arguably the best receiver in the game right now. You got Horton, who showed he can be a number 2. You have an offensive line that's better than what people think. Not great, better than what people think. You have a legit threat in the backfield with K9 and Charbonnet at the run spot. They're not putting up these numbers. Like, you have to understand the effect of the run to appreciate what it's doing for Sam Darnold. The numbers ain't great, but it's helping him out. And then defensively, I hope Ernest Jones is okay. Hope he heals fast because you're going to need him. But you got an Emery. You got a guy like Ty Okada filling in, making plays. You got, Reek Woolen, who got a flag last night. I thought that flag was kind of ridiculous. That was so quick. But Reek, everyone's looking at you, dog. You have a defensive line that's one of the best in the game. This is a good team. And when you have a good team, the quarterback is going to shine if he can just run the offense, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. I have like 2 more questions. We're going to be like just a second late getting to headline rewrites. What's next then? So if step 1 on like, hey, here's how you really have a great 2025. Step 1, make a statement in primetime with a signature win. What's the next step?
You got to beat the Cardinals. You continue to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, and then the Rams are waiting. That is going to be the true test. I see people on the text lines kind of like discrediting what Sam Darnold and this team are doing.
Why?
But there are steps to becoming contenders. You don't just wake up in the morning on a Tuesday and say, oh, I think we're contenders. You got to go through a season. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. You have to play a good team tight in the Buccaneers. You have to go on the road and win some ball games. You got to defend the house. You got to learn how to establish the run. And this is a process. It's there are steps you have to take. Anybody who plays video games, it gets harder every step, right? Expectations are going to change for this team. So, yeah, I'm not saying they've beaten a top-tier team yet, but what they're doing makes me believe that when they get into a fight, they have a chance. And we'll see. First take care of the Cardinals, but we'll see if they are contenders once they line up with the Rams.
I would also caution people against goalpost moving so frequently. And to very carefully listen to the argument about Sam Darnold. I have not heard at any point anyone, literally no one, is out here saying Sam Darnold's the best quarterback in football.
Nah.
Can you win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold? That's a much more intriguing conversation. And I don't know the answer to that, but I am confident in saying that Sam Darnold looks really good this year, and I think that's sincere. So for a 4.25 that says, well, performing better doesn't mean the player is better, what does it mean? What? If the player's performing better, yeah, it usually means that he's playing better. You're through 8 weeks in the season. This isn't weeks 1 and 2. Oh, you face the Titans and Saints, which I know that they haven't even faced the Titans. But, like, every single quarterback this year has played some kind of bad team. Matthew Stafford looks amazing. Well, they played the Titans.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to point to Sam Darnold and say, oh, well, he faced the Commanders and had the best performance of any quarterback against the Commanders, so what now?
Yeah.
Dak Prescott played the Commanders, too, and dropped 40 points on them. The Cowboys did. Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, like, are you going to take that away from the Cowboys? Are you going to take that away from the Seahawks? You also played the best passing defense in football. You played a perfectly healthy 49ers defense that you and one other team got to play Nick Bosa this year. So what now? What, are you going to take that away?